So what if the NBA restarted with a fantasy draft? I've already done this previously on my channel, but that was all the way back in NBA 2K17, and it did well. You guys really enjoyed that video. You know what? Let me know if you're an OG and remember that video. I mean, there's only like a few OGs out there. This was back when I had like, I think 10K subscribers. I don't even know. I think it was even less than that. But let me know if you're an OG by commenting down below. But yeah, what this means is basically every team is going to be equal. There are going to be no super teams in the NBA anymore. Players are going to be on completely different teams. They're going to have different teammates. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see who comes out on top and wins that NBA championship. I am going to be doing this like a rebuild. I'm going to be picking a random team by scrolling through like this randomly, closing my eyes and counting down. And that is the team I will be rolling with. It could be anybody on the team. I could have a team with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, who knows? But yeah, guys, if you support me and my content, I just want to say to leave a thumbs up if you enjoy and to subscribe if you're new while hitting that post notifications button so you don't miss out on any future episodes on my channel. All right, but here we go. Let's pick our random team right now. I guess I'm just gonna keep scrolling, closing my eyes. I'm gonna count down from 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna stop now. We get the Chicago Bulls. This is the team we're gonna be rolling with. The franchise is nothing major. This is just gonna be like your franchise. You could have any players on the team. So here we go. Let's select the Bulls. And the salary cap is on, so we might get screwed out of getting players with bad contracts. What if we get Chuki, Noah, Chandler Parsons on our team? That would be horrible. That's like the worst case scenario. But let's take a look at our roster. We have Jokic as our best player with D'Lo as our starting point guard. We got Taurean Prince, Dirk Nowitzki. That's not good. He's going to retire next year. We're going to be losing him. Austin Rivers, Kelly Olynyk, Lance Stevenson, Marco Bellinelli, JJ Barea, David West, Marshawn Brooks, Ty Lawson, Kuzminskis, and Dorian Finney-Smith. So we do have like a bunch of old players on the team. I mean, it's kind of balanced out. We got young and old, but that's not like the best case scenario. You kind of want the younger players more. But it's good to have some veteran leadership on the team. Our youngest is D'Lo and Jokic. 22 years old for D'Lo, 23 years old for Jokic, and he's a 91 overall, so I think he could go higher. But yeah, this is a nice, well-rounded team. We got a point guard, a nice shooting guard. We got Taurean Prince at small forward, Dirk at the power forward, and Jokic, of course, at center. Let's take a look around the league, see what these other guys have. Wow, John Wall and Bradley Beal are still teammates. Drummond and Blake Griffin are still teammates. What are the odds of that? Kevin Durant is on the Charlotte Hornets, reunited with former teammate Steven Adams. LeBron James is on the Utah Jazz, and he's teamed up with Lonzo Ball like he is in real life. Steph Curry on the Lakers, teaming up with Dwight. That could be an interesting duo. This might be the youngest team right here. The Magic, Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, Marvin Bagley, Josh Hart. Klay Thompson finally has his own team, teaming up with Brandon Ingram. People have been wondering how Klay Thompson would do on his own team. We will find out in this scenario as he is on the Brooklyn Nets. Anthony Davis is still on the Pelicans, leading the way along with Andrew Wiggins. Look at this defensive front court. You got former defensive player of the year Rudy Gobert and former defensive player of the year Draymond Green. Good luck scoring in the paint on them. Paul George remains on the Thunder, him and Lauri Markkanen. So yeah, guys, every team is pretty much even. So I guess it's just who has the best chemistry, who has the best coaching is who's going to come out on top and win that NBA championship. But we're not going to do any trading this first season. We're just going to simulate to the end of the season and see how this team does. Here's what the rotation is looking like. We got D'Lo, Marco Bellinelli, Taurean Prince, Dirk Nowitzki, and Jokic rounding out the starting five. Sixth man would be Austin Rivers with Kelly Olynyk, JJ Barea, and Lance Stevenson. We're going to run a nice 9-man rotation. I don't know if these power rankings are accurate, but two of them got the Spurs as the #1 team, who have Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles, and Willie Cauley-Stein in the starting five. And 2K Sports actually has us 5th in their power ranks. I don't know if this matters. I don't know if it's just random, but by 2K Sports, Mark Spears and NBA.com is sleeping on us. Mark Spears actually has us 27th, so the disrespect from Mark Spears, man. Look at that, man. Disrespecting us. But yeah, as I said, we're going to simulate to the end of the season and see how this team does. Actually, before we do that, let's set our first scoring option as Jokic, second scoring option as D'Lo, and third scoring option as Dirk, because he can still score that basketball. And now we're going to simulate to the end of the season and see how this team does. We lose our first game to the Sixers. We lose our second game. We lose in 3 straight. All right, we finally win a game back-to-back against the Hornets, both of them. Now we're on a little win streak. We're on a 5-game win streak, and we lose. And now we're in a big slump, losing a lot straight. Now we're way below 500. We're 7-17. We were just on a 5-game win streak. Guys, we might actually be the worst team in the league. We are 14-36 right now. In a league where all the teams are even, we're gonna end up being the worst ones. Alright, and here we are at the end of the season. Most valuable player award goes to CP3 on the Sixers, averaging 27 points with 12 assists to go with 2 steals and 6 boards. Rookie of the year goes to Trae Young on the Mavs, averaging a nice 22. Mirotic, 6th man of the year. Kawhi Leonard, defensive player of the year on the Mavericks. Hey, and Jokic wins most improved on our team, averaging 22.3 points, 13 boards, 6 assists with a steal and 2 blocks per game. Who said he doesn't play defense? And Brett Brown is the coach of the year. All NBA first team Nikola Jokic makes the cut along with all of these superstars. And looking at the standings, we were the 2nd worst team in the Eastern Conference. 2nd worst team in the league. The Western Conference is purely more dominant still. I don't know why. But us and the Nets were just horrible. Who's on the Nets? Bledsoe, Klay Thompson. So Klay Thompson, leading his own team, couldn't really do that much and led him to the worst record in the league. And on top of the East were the Sixers with Chris Paul, of course, we already saw that. Ben Simmons and this young Magic team finished with the 2nd best record in the East. And the Pistons finished with 3rd as Giannis leads the way with Marc Gasol. Best team in the West was led by Kawhi Leonard and Trae Young. Tied with the Thunder, actually led by Paul George himself and Lauri Markkanen. And in the Jazz, led by Lonzo Ball and LeBron James, got the 3rd seed. Here are the league leaders in scoring. James Harden of the Pacers leads the way, followed by LeBron James, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook rounding out the top 5. Also in there you got Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, Lillard, Giannis, and DeRozan. And our boy Jokic was 18th in the league. But he did lead the league in rebounding. That's actually really surprising. And he led the league in assists among centers. And he was tied for 1st with steals among centers. And yeah, Klay Thompson on his own team had almost the worst plus-minus in the league. The worst was Brandon Ingram. And you see some of our players here. Dirk Nowitzki was 2nd to last. You know what? I actually never looked at our salary cap situation. Let's take a look at that real quick. Ooh, we have 14 million in salary cap room. That is not bad at all. The Magic with their young team have 40 mil, and they were 2nd best in the league. They are set. We have like the 5th most salary cap room in the league, and the Sixers got screwed. They are negative almost 80 million with these horrible contracts on their team. Batum, DeAndre, George Hill, Tim Hardaway Jr., yeah, they're screwed. They might have done well for 1 season, but they do have Chris Paul locked up, but the rest of these guys just overpaid, bro. Alright, let's simulate the playoffs, see who comes out on top. I'm guessing it's going to be Mavericks versus like Sixers. And of course, the Mavericks lose in the 1st round to an 8th-seeded Spurs. Sixers lose in the 2nd round to the Cavs, so there goes my prediction of both 1 seeds making it. It's a Kings versus Pistons NBA Finals. The Pistons beat the Kings in 5. Who do the Pistons have? Oh, they have Giannis. That explains it. The Kings, led by Russell Westbrook and DeAndre Ayton, come up short, but they make the NBA Finals, so that's pretty interesting. And here we are in the offseason. Let's look at player retirements, and of course, Dirk Nowitzki announces his retirement. That was a good 1 season for us as a tanking team. But let's go to the draft lottery, where we have the 2nd best odds at the #1 pick. Let's see what happens. We have the 2nd pick in the NBA draft, as the Blazers have the 1st. The Nets slipped the 3rd. They had the best odds. Let's see what we could get with our 2nd pick. I know we could get like a Zion Williamson, Romeo Langford, RJ Barrett, something along those lines, but I just want to see the value of this pick. It's 3.5 stars. Let's see what we could get. We could get a 90 overall Rudy Gobert to team up with Jokic, but I don't think that's going to work. Or we could get a CJ McCollum. We're getting offered some nice centers right now. I might take this Gordon Hayward trade, but they are asking for our next year's pick, which ought to be good too. You know what? I'm liking this Rudy Gobert trade, and they're only asking for our 2nd pick and our 2023 2nd round pick for a 90 overall Rudy Gobert. And I think I'm gonna run Rudy Gobert at center with Jokic at power forward. You know what? I'm taking this trade. Rudy Gobert is a 90 overall. He could protect that paint for us. So here we are in free agency with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, DeMarcus Cousins, Jimmy Butler, and Klay Thompson, along with others in this free agency class. So we offered all the top free agents a contract. Jimmy Butler actually ends up agreeing with us, but we're going to lose all of these players who were on 1-year deals. But D'Angelo Russell was restricted, so we end up getting him back. but now we are like negative cap, so we gotta win this season, bro. All right, I screwed up. We don't actually gonna get Jimmy Butler, but that's all right because D'Angelo Russell, we got back. He got better. Gobert got better. Jokic got better. At power forward, I moved him, and he's now a 92 overall. And a lot of these guys went up. We actually don't have anyone on our roster because a lot of those guys are on one-year deals, so we're gonna have to sign some people for the minimum. So yeah, the Atlanta Hawks ended up signing Jimmy Butler. They also got Kemba Walker. So then they got Kemba, Jimmy, Tatum, Kuzma. Oh my gosh, this team is so good. Oh my, the second best team in the East also signed Kevin Durant. They did have a lot of cap room. So now they got Ben Simmons with KD, Jaylen Brown, Bagley, Josh Hart. Oh my gosh, this team might really win it all. And Klay Thompson got out of Brooklyn and it's now on the Raptors, teaming up with Draymond Green once again. They also got Michael Porter Jr. and Bobby Portis. So this is what our rotations look like for our second season. We got D'Lo, Marco Bellinelli, Taurean Prince, Jokic at the 4, and Gobert at the 5. And our bench is pretty bad, not gonna lie. But here we go, we're gonna simulate to the end of the season once again and see how this new look Bulls team does. I don't expect them to do much or better, but maybe, just maybe a playoff team. We win the first two. We are starting 3-0, but I'm not gonna jinx anything as we lose to the Sixers, lose to the Pistons, and once again, here we go. On the little losing streak, I don't know why. All right, so here we are at the trade deadline. There's a 4-way tie for dead last in the Eastern Conference. I'm gonna try to make some trades, spice up this team as the Sixers are just going off right now with Chris Paul. I don't know why this team is so good, but Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan are reunited. That's probably why. As for the Magic, they have Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant. They actually got a better team, but they're actually doing a little bit worse. What do the Knicks have? They are second seed. Isaiah Thomas, Donovan Mitchell, Gordon Hayward, and DeMarcus Cousins. Okay, that explains it. As the Mavericks already know, they got Trae Young and Kawhi. The Timberwolves are the second seed with Spencer Dinwiddie, Porzingis leading the way, and Zach LaVine. Yeah, I couldn't find any trades I liked, so we're not going to do any trades. I'm a little rusty on the rebuilding right now. Alright, here we are at the end of the season once again. Chris Paul wins back-to-back MVPs at like age, what, 30-something. Zion Williamson ends up winning Rookie of the Year. Look, he's on the Pelicans. That's the team he's on in my career series. What are the odds of that? RJ Barrett, 6th Man of the Year, who's a rookie. Okay. Kawhi Leonard, back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. And Michael Porter Jr., most improved on the Raptors. Brett Brown, back-to-back Coach of the Year. Jokic made the All-NBA second team after making the All-NBA first team the previous season. And D'Angelo Russell actually makes the All-NBA third team, which is actually high honors. And Rudy Gobert makes the All-Defensive second team. So we got some award winners on this team. I mean, we weren't dead last in the league this time. We actually just barely missed the playoffs. But we weren't as bad as we were last season, I'll tell you that. The best team, of course, was the Sixers, led by Chris Paul and DeAndre. I don't know how this team is doing so good. Is their bench, like, good? Oh, yeah, their bench is pretty good. Yeah, it's their bench. And the Kings lead the way in the Western Conference after making a finals appearance in the last season. Westbrook leading the way with DeAndre Ayton. League leaders in scoring. This time it's Kyrie Irving with a massive 33 points per game. Then it's Giannis, Steph Curry, LeBron James, James Harden, Westbrook, CP3, D'Lo with 9th in scoring. Actually, let's look at our team stats. D'Lo with 24 points per game. Jokic with 20, 10, and 6. D'Lo with 24, 5, and 8. That is actually a really good stat line. Gobert with 2.6 blocks per game, also grabbing 10 rebounds a game. But yeah, let's just simulate the playoffs. It's probably going to be Kings versus Sixers this time. Probably not, but they're both 1 seed, so yeah, never mind. The Kings lose to the Mavericks and the Sixers beat the Hawks in 7. Sixers Knicks Conference Finals, Dallas Memphis Western Conference Finals. Who will meet up in the finals? Sixers versus Grizzlies. Let's see who wins this one. The Grizzlies are NBA champions. I don't even know who's on this team. Blake Griffin. Who is on this Grizzlies team? Drummond, Blake Griffin. Wow, this team of Drummond and Blake Griffin won the NBA Finals against the Sixers, who of course have Chris Paul and DeAndre leading the way with a really nice bench. Very, very surprising, and that's where I'm going to cut this episode actually before free agency. We do have some salary cap to sign some free agents. Let's see who are the upcoming free agents. We got Ben Simmons, Tatum, Mitchell, Aldridge, and Ayton. Just some of the big names. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this episode right here. If you want to see part 2 of this little rebuild. Once again, I'm rusty at rebuilding, in my first rebuild in like years. But yeah, part 2, let's reach 750 likes and I will release part 2 of this rebuild. Remember guys, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any future uploads on this channel. And that's gonna do it for this episode guys. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm out.